Hey everyone, Corey here with The Fit Parents Project. Okay, so something we get asked a lot is, how do I stay on track when it comes to social situations? All right, whether that be dates, parties, girls' night outs, guys' night outs, weekends with the family, whatever. So today I want to talk to you about 3 things that you can do to make sure you stay on track during social situations. So the next social situation we have coming up here is Super Bowl. All right. Now, I don't know about you, but I love the Super Bowl. I love football in general. Okay. Woo, go Packers. But anyways, when it comes to the Super Bowl, what do you think of besides football and, well, the commercials? You think of going to either Super Bowl parties, hosting Super Bowl parties, or just basically the food and probably the drinks that go along with it, right? Well, when it comes to the food and the drinks, you can see where that it can become a very slippery slope, right? You walk in with, your head held high, you're going to, you're just going to have a little bit, right? And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you wake up with a food hangover. You don't remember, it's kind of like you blacked out, right? You don't remember everything you ate. And I'm not talking about blacked out because of the alcohol. I'm talking about you just ate. Then what happens? Negative self-talk, right? You beat yourself up over something that you feel you could have controlled. Then what happens? You say, "Fuck it," right? And when you say that, it's, I'm just going to eat whatever I want for the next day, week, month, who knows? And then at the end, it's just a vicious cycle, because then the negative self-talk comes back in, and then you just say, F it. And then who knows how long it can last. All right. For me, sometimes it's last days, weeks, and even months. Yes, months. Okay. I've been through this. But there are things you can do to make sure that this doesn't happen. All right. These are 3 things that not only myself and my husband, BJ, do to make sure we stay on track during these social situations, but it's also things that all the busy parents that we work with do to make sure they stay on track during these social situations. Okay, so it can be done. So let's get to them. Okay, so what exactly do you do? Never go to a party again? Never go out? Never have fun? Well, that's just silly. You're not going to become a hermit because you want to make sure you stay on track. In fact, that's the worst thing you could do, because if you never put yourself in those situations, you don't know how to deal with them. And then when you are put into a situation like that, a social situation where there's a lot of food, and things get out of hand, you don't know what to do. Okay? For me, I'm a chips and queso, chips and guac type of girl. So, I can literally eat my body weight in queso and guac. But I make sure that I know what to do when I get into those types of social situations. That's a lot to say. All right, so tip number 1, count it as a cheat meal. All right, so I really hate, and I've said this before, I really hate the words cheat meal, okay? Because it gives it a negative vibe. What are you cheating on? It makes it seem like it's forbidden, okay? And when you have that forbidden type of meal or food, you tend to think that you did something bad, okay? And in the back of your mind, you're saying, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this. The negative self-talk, okay? I also don't like to call it a reward meal. Why? Because why are you rewarding yourself with food? That should be the last thing you're going to reward yourself with. And again, it just comes down to psychology, okay? But because I don't know how to or I don't know a word to use, I'm just going to call it a cheat meal, or whatever you want to call it, okay? But it's a planned cheat and or reward meal, okay? Going into this social situation, you are going to allow yourself to have whatever's going on, okay? Whether that be the pizza or the whatever it is, okay? But remember, it's a meal. It's not a sit down, all you can eat buffet. where you just keep going throughout the day or throughout the weekend. It's one meal. Okay? Tip number 2, eat before you go. Now you're probably thinking, well, if I'm going to eat, why would I eat before you go? Because have you ever gone to the grocery store hungry? You're supposed to go in for 2 things, right? Like bread and eggs, we'll just say something simple. You walk out with a cart full of Cheetos and Oreos and other cookies and ice cream and pizza. And Lord knows, try going there with a 6-year-old when you're hungry and your 6-year-old is hungry. She can talk, my 6-year-old can talk me into buying almost any type of food when I'm hungry at the grocery store. Why? Because it sounds really good and I'm hungry. So you tend to, well, if you go to the grocery store, you tend to buy more. If you're going to out into a social situation and you're hungry, you're going to eat more, okay? Now, even if this is a planned cheat or reward meal, you should probably still have something that is substantial in your nutrition plan, okay? This way you don't go overboard. But when you eat before you go, or before you have people over, or whatever the social situation is, you are able to control how much you eat. Why? Because you're full. Now, some people do have a hard time realizing or understanding when they are full. If that's something that is hard for you to do right now, that's something you really need to work on before you put yourselves into a lot of these social situations. But if you are good at understanding and knowing when you are full, when you've had enough, this is a great tool to use. Eat before you go. It doesn't have to be a full, complete meal, okay? But something that's going to fill you up a little bit, so when you get to that social situation, you know you are not going to stuff yourself with a bunch of stuff that's going to push you off track. And tip number 3, whether it's you're going someplace for like a party, or maybe you're having people over, okay? Make food that is in line with your nutrition plan. Nowadays, you could find, especially with Pinterest and all the online blogs and everything, you can find food that fits your nutrition plan, but is, like a healthy version of something. One of the things that I love to make is what's called fire chicken. Now, BJ has a different word for it, but basically it's kind of like a buffalo chicken, okay, that you would use for like buffalo chicken sandwiches and or like, buffalo wings and stuff like that. But this is a healthier version in the fact that the wings are, it's not fried, it's either chicken breasts or chicken thighs and stuff like that. But it's a healthier version of the original. But with you taking this, you know that at least there's gonna be something there that you can eat that's on your nutrition plan, okay? Or if you're having people over, you know that you're making stuff that you can eat that will allow you to stay on your nutrition plan, won't push you off track. And it's really tasty. So you're not going to feel like you're missing out. All right, so there you have it. 3 things that you can do to make sure you can stay on track with your nutrition plan and with your program when you're in social situations. But it's important to understand that proper nutrition is only one step in our 9-step system that we have put together called the Fit Parents Blueprint. If you'd like to learn more, go ahead, click the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, have a great day.